Peppa Pig Peppa and the Flying Vet. Peppa has brought Goldie the fish to the vet for a checkup. "You've got a healthy fish, Peppa," says Dr. Hamster. "Thank you," says Peppa. Suddenly, Dr. Hamster's telephone rings. It is Mr. Elephant. "Hello, Dr. Hamster," he says. "We found a sick lizard in the mountains." It's a gecko, not a lizard," adds Edmund Elephant. "I'll be right there," says Dr. Hamster. Dr. Hamster springs into action. "Can we come too?" asks Peppa. "Of course," replies the vet. "All aboard the aeroplane." "I didn't know you had an aeroplane, Dr. Hamster," says Mummy Pig. "Oh yes," replies Dr. Hamster proudly. "I'm the flying vet." Mr. Elephant spots the aeroplane in the sky. "Thank goodness," he exclaims. "The vet is here." When Dr. Hamster lands, she calls, "Where's the sick lizard?" "This poor lizard is upside down," says Dr. Hamster, flipping it over. "There, he's all better." Then Dr. Hamster's mobile phone rings. "This must be another emergency," she says, answering the call. "Hello, Grandpa Pig here," says Grandpa Pig. "It's Polly, she's sick." "I'll be right there," promises Dr. Hamster. So Peppa, George and Mummy Pig jump back into the aeroplane. "Look, Polly, it's the flying vet," cries Grandpa Pig when he sees the airplane. "We're going into the sea," cries Peppa. "This is a seaplane, Peppa," says Dr. Hamster. "We can land on the water." "Polly has been ill since we got on board," explains Grandpa Pig. "She must be seasick," says Dr. Hamster. And when Grandpa Pig puts Polly on dry land, she soon feels much better. Dr. Hamster's mobile phone rings again. It is Daddy Pig in his office. "There are some ducklings stuck on our roof," says Daddy Pig. "You're just in time," says Daddy Pig. "Mrs. Duck laid her eggs on our roof," says Mrs. Cat.
Meow.
"And they hatched," adds Mr. Rabbit. "But the ducklings don't know the way to the pond." "Who can make a quacking noise?" asks Dr. Hamster. "Quack, quack," says Peppa, and the ducklings follow her back to the pond. Dr. Hamster's phone rings for a fourth time. "Is it another emergency?" asks Peppa hopefully. "Yes, that was Mr. Hamster," says Dr. Hamster. "I'm late for tea. Must fly." "Thanks for your help," everyone cries, waving her off in her airplane. "No problem," Dr. Hamster calls. "It's all in a day's work for the flying vet." The Peppa Pig Peppa's Sandpit. Peppa and her friends are playing in the sandpit. "This sandpit is our desert island," decides Peppa. "We will live here forever." "If we are going to live here forever, I want it to be nice," says Susie Sheep. "The desert island just needs some houses," says Peppa. "And roads," barks Danny Dog. "And shops," says Susie Sheep.
Dinosaur,
Shout George and Richard. Yes, snorts Peppa. The desert island can have dinosaurs too. Emily Elephant looks at the desert island. She thinks that it needs trees.
wow.
Where are we going to get trees from? asks Susie. Danny Dog has an idea. We have to drive big trucks around the world and look for trees. The dinosaurs guard the desert island while the others go to find some trees. Hello, Mummy Rabbit, says Danny. Have you got any spare trees? Mummy Rabbit picks up some sticks. There you go. Peppa and her friends drive their trucks back around the world.
Wow.
They plant the trees. There, says Peppa. We will live here forever. Candy Cat and Zoe Zebra come to see the desert island. It would be really good if it had a lake,
Meow.
says Candy. Danny digs a lake. Now it needs some water. The children pretend to fly around the world looking for water. Pedro Pony is playing on the roundabout. I know where there is pretend snow, he says. We can melt it to get pretend water.
Wow.
This is a pretend mountain, shouts Pedro. Pedro climbs to the top of the mountain, but there is no snow up there. It has melted in the sun. Can we pretend it hasn't melted? says Susie. No, neighs Pedro. It has melted good and proper. Candy spots Daddy Pig. He is drinking from the water fountain. Can we have some water in our bucket, please? asks Peppa. Oh, snorts Daddy Pig. Of course. The children fly back to the desert island. Peppa fills up the lake. We've got water, giggles Peppa. Freddy Fox arrives. The desert island is nearly ready. If only it had some flags, sighs Zoe. Mr. Fox takes a look in his van. He has got everything in his van.
Wow.
How about these? He grins. Now the desert island is perfect. It has trees, roads, shops, dinosaurs, flags, and a real lake. We can live here forever and ever, cheers Peppa. The end. Peppa Pig and the Day of Giving Thanks. Peppa Pig and her brother George love going for walks with Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig. Today they are out among the trees and flowers and bugs and birds. Peppa is happy and thankful to be in this beautiful place.
Wow.
For Peppa and her family, it is a day for giving thanks. I love the blue sky, says Peppa. Thank you, sky. I love the clouds floating in the sky, she says. They make pretty shapes. Thank you, clouds. Peppa and George look for more things to thank on their walk. So does Daddy Pig. He looks up at a tall tree. Thank you, tree, he says. Peppa sees her favourite fruit. Thank you, apples, says Peppa. It's nice to see you, turtle. Peppa is thankful for the frogs, the fish,
and especially the ducks. "Look, George," says Mummy Pig, "butterflies." George flaps his arms, just like the butterflies. George points. "Oh," says Peppa. Then she says, "Thank you, Spider." "Ah!" cries Daddy Pig. He runs. He does not say thank you to the spider. There are so many things to be thankful for.
Hooray!
The flowers help the bees, says Mummy Pig.
And the bees give us honey, says Peppa. I love honey.
There are so many colourful leaves and pumpkins.
So pretty,
says Peppa. Peppa and George play in the leaves. Peppa feels something. Oh no! Rain, says Mummy Pig. Peppa doesn't want to get wet. She is not thankful for the rain. Oh no! Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, Peppa and George wait under the trees. The water pours down. The ducks don't mind the rain at all. When the rain stops, they move on. But Peppa doesn't see the birds or butterflies or even the ducks. And the sky isn't blue. Where are the frogs and the turtles? Then, just ahead, Peppa sees something. She smiles.
Look!
The rain left a surprise for Peppa and George.
Thank you for the muddy puddle.
The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa visits the aquarium. This is Peppa's pet fish, Goldie.
Wow.
Every morning, Peppa gives Goldie breakfast.
Time to eat,
She says. Oh dear, Goldie is not eating.
What is wrong with Goldie?
Peppa asks.
She looks a bit sad,
Says Mummy Pig. Oh no,
I think she is lonely.
says Peppa.
She doesn't have any fish friends.
Maybe Goldie could visit the aquarium, says Daddy Pig.
What's an aquarium?
Peppa asks. It is a place with lots of fish, says Daddy Pig.
Oh, goody.
Cries Peppa.
We can find a friend for Goldie there. Let's go.
Hooray!
Peppa and her family drive to the aquarium. Miss Rabbit sells them tickets.
The fish can go in for free, she says. Enjoy your visit.
The first room has many little fish. Could one of these fish be Goldie's new friend? Asked Daddy Pig.
No, says Peppa. They are too small.
Peppa's friend, Candy Cat, is in the next room with her family.
Hello, Candy,
Says Peppa.
we are finding a friend for Goldie.
The fish in this room look like little dinosaurs,
Dinosaur.
says George.
These aren't dinosaurs,
Meow.
Says Candy.
they are called seahorses.
Wow.
Could a seahorse be Goldie's friend?
Meow.
Candy asks.
No,
Says Peppa.
they are too dinosaur-y.
Everyone goes to the next room. The tank in here has a very strange fish. Wow, says Daddy Pig. This fish looks like a big eye. It is a big eye on a very big fish. Maybe this one could be Goldie's new friend, says Mummy Pig.
No,
Says Peppa.
it is too big.
There is only one room left to visit. But there are no fish in this tank. There's only green slime. Oh, and Miss Rabbit is in the tank too. She is cleaning it. The last stop is the cafe.
We did not find a friend for Goldie.
Peppa says sadly. Then Peppa notices a bowl on the counter.
What is that?
Peppa asks.
That is my pet goldfish, Ginger,
Says Miss Rabbit. Goldie likes Ginger. Ginger likes Goldie.
Goldie can visit Ginger any time she wants,
Says Miss Rabbit.
Hooray!
Goldie has made a friend at the aquarium after all. The end. Peppa Pig, Miss Rabbit's Day Off. Peppa, George and Susie Sheep have had a sleepover at Rebecca Rabbit's house.
It's fun having carrots for breakfast,
Laughs Peppa. I could eat carrots all day, agrees Daddy Rabbit. Mummy Rabbit's sister, Miss Rabbit, pops in to say hello. I can't stop long, she says. I've got lots of work to do. I'm working at the supermarket, selling ice creams and driving the bus.
Wow!
Miss Rabbit trips over one of Richard's toys.
Ouch!
Her ankle is hurt. Oh no! You must stay here and get better, decides Miss Rabbit. I'll do your work for you. Mummy Rabbit puts Rebecca and her friends in charge of looking after Miss Rabbit. Luckily, Susie Sheep has her nurse's outfit with her.
Don't worry, she says. I am only a pretend nurse.
Mummy Rabbit goes straight to the supermarket.
Miss Rabbit is ill, she tells everyone. I'll be doing her job today.
Have you ever worked a checkout before? Asks Mrs. Dog. Mummy Rabbit has not. Running a supermarket checkout is quite hard. Miss Rabbit calls home.
We need more help, she cries. This job is going to take me all day.
Peppa phones Miss Rabbit's ice cream stall. Daddy Pig answers.
Miss Rabbit is ill. You've got to sell the ice cream today.
Oh, snorts Daddy Pig. I'm an expert at ice cream. He gets to work. Selling ice cream is quite hard. Soon the ice cream begins to melt. Oh no! The ice cream is all runny. Ice cream soup, anyone? Asks Daddy Pig. Peppa phones Grandad Dog.
Miss Rabbit is very ill. Can you drive her bus today?
Grandad Dog gets to work, but driving a bus is quite hard. It is even harder when you have cars to fix too. Oh no! Back at Rebecca Rabbit's house, Miss Rabbit is feeling better.
Can I get up now?
She asks. Susie Sheep shakes her head.
No. You must lie very still, but please keep breathing.
It's not easy doing all your jobs, says Mummy Rabbit at the end of the day.
It's not easy sitting down all day,
says Miss Rabbit. She will definitely be back at work tomorrow. The end. Peppa Pig Garden Games. It is a lovely sunny day. Peppa and George are playing outside with Susie Sheep. Daddy Pig brings out a large box. It is full of garden games. Here you are, he says. Susie looks inside the box. She pulls out 3 wooden sticks.
Wow.
Juggle sticks, she cries. Watch me juggle. Susie throws the sticks up into the air. They all land on the grass. Those aren't juggling sticks, laughs Daddy Pig. They are skittles. Daddy Pig stands the skittles up. Peppa throws a ball and tries to knock the skittles down. Hooray! Shouts Peppa. I got 2.
Hooray!
Now it's Susie's turn.
This game is very hard,
Warns Peppa.
you probably won't be able to do it.
Susie throws the ball. She knocks over all the skittles.
Wow.
Oh,
Says Peppa. George is too little for skittles. He wants to play bat and ball instead. Peppa can throw the ball, says Daddy Pig, and George has to bat it. George hits the ball. Susie catches it. Oh dear, George is out. Oh no! Poor George. He is too little for bat and ball. You just need a bit more practice, says Daddy Pig. Watch me. Daddy Pig bats the ball hard. Oops! It has gone all the way into the house. Mummy Pig is having a coffee in the kitchen. She is very surprised to see Daddy Pig. Can we have our ball back, please? He asks. Yes, says Mummy Pig, but please play more carefully in the future. Danny Dog comes to play in the garden too. Daddy Pig decides to start a new game.
Hooray!
He gets 2 bars and a yellow pole out of the box.
what's that?
Says Peppa. Limbo, replies Daddy Pig.
Wow.
He turns on some music, leans backwards, then walks underneath the pole. Daddy Pig makes the pole lower, but this time he can't walk underneath it.
Your tummy is too big,
Giggles Peppa.
my turn.
Says Danny. Danny, Peppa, Susie and George all walk under the pole. Now we'll make the pole even lower, says Daddy Pig.
Easy,
Giggles Peppa. But this time, when Peppa tries, the pole falls down.
it's impossible,
She decides.
nobody can walk under that.
The pole is very, very low, says George. He wants to have a go.
Wow,
Shouts Danny.
George can do it.
George is the best at limbo because he is so little. Well done, George. The end. Peppa Pig, the fancy dress party. Peppa and George are having a fancy dress party. All their friends are invited. Peppa is dressed as a fairy princess and George is a dinosaur. All the guests are arriving. Rebecca Rabbit is dressed as a carrot and Susie Sheep has come as a nurse. Hello, Susie,
says Daddy Pig. Have you just come from the hospital? I'm not a real nurse, says Susie Sheep. It's just pretend. Hello, Susie, says Peppa. I'm Princess Peppa. You must bow when you speak to me. Susie Sheep bows. Woof, woof. I'm a pirate. Shiver me timbers, says Danny Dog. I'm a clown, says Pedro, tooting his horn. Rebecca, why are you dressed as a carrot? Danny asks. Because I like carrots, says Rebecca. George does his best dinosaur roar and scares everybody. Peppa is playing by herself. She pretends the mirror is magic. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? You are, Peppa, she giggles. It's time to judge the fancy dress competition. As it's Peppa's party, says Daddy Pig, she can be the judge and decide who has the best costume. The guests show off their outfits. I'm a pirate, shiver me timbers, says Danny Dog. I'm a nurse who makes people better, says Susie Sheep. Candy Cat waves her wand at Peppa. I'm a witch and I can turn you into a frog, she says.
Meow.
Well, I'm a fairy princess and I can turn you into a frog, cries Peppa. It is time to announce the winner. Everyone's costume is very good, says Peppa, but the winner is me. Peppa, you can't pick yourself. You're the judge, whispers Mummy Pig. Oh, can't I? asks Peppa. You have to pick another winner, Mummy Pig says quietly. Okay, the carrot wins, says Peppa. Hooray! Rebecca Rabbit has won the fancy dress competition. Thank you, Rebecca says. Peppa loves fancy dress parties. Everyone loves fancy dress parties. The end. Peppa's best birthday party. It was Mandy Mouse's birthday, and she was having her party at Cheese World.
Wow.
What is Cheese World, Mandy? asked Peppa. It's the most fun place ever, replied Mandy. There's a cheese river and a cheese mountain, and best of all, there's a cheese castle. Wow! Everyone gasped. When they arrived for the party, Mummy Mouse took Mandy and her friends to a huge cheese-shaped arch. Welcome to Cheese World, announced Miss Rabbit. Have any of you been here before? I have, cried Mandy. It's amazing.
Wow.
Oh, hello, Mandy, said Miss Rabbit. Nice to see you again. Everyone followed Miss Rabbit past some cheese trees and cheese bushes. So, said Miss Rabbit, everything at Cheese World is about cheese, cheered Mandy. That's right, said Miss Rabbit. And we'll start by sailing on the river of cheese. Mandy cheered again. When they got to the cheese river, 2 little cheese boats were waiting. All aboard, called Mandy. And hold tight, added Miss Rabbit, as the boats bobbed along. Miss Rabbit, said Peppa, are these boats made of real cheese? No, Peppa, replied Miss Rabbit. They are made from pretend cheese. Oh, said Peppa. We are now entering Cheese Mountain, said Miss Rabbit as they sailed inside a cave. Is it made of real cheese? Asked Peppa. No, replied Miss Rabbit. But this is what it would be like to sail through a cheese mountain.
Wow!
Ooh! Cried Mandy and her friends. If cheese mountains existed, finished Miss Rabbit. After the boat ride, Mr. Rabbit showed the group his cheese aeroplane ride. Mandy explained what to do. If you pull the lever, the plane goes up, she said. And if you push the lever, the plane goes down. Once the children were safely in their airplanes, Mr. Rabbit started the ride. Up, up and away, he cried. This is brilliant, said Molly Mole. Look, there's a sun made of cheese, Mandy called. And the clouds are cottage cheese, gasped Susie. I can see the whole world, said Peppa. It's all cheese. Was that fun? Asked Mummy Mouse once the children finished flying. Yes! Everyone cheered happily. I told you Cheese World is the most fun place ever, cried Mandy. Next, it was time to visit the Castle of Cheese. Hello, Mandy, said Grampy Rabbit when they arrived at the entrance. Have you told your friends about my Castle of Cheese? I told them it was the best bit, said Mandy. It is, said Grampy Rabbit. It's where we get to smell real cheese. No pretend cheese here. Once they were inside, Grampy Rabbit said, Let's start by smelling a mild cheese. Molly and Pedro Pony both took a good sniff. Said Molly. This smells nice. I like it too, said Pedro. Grampy Rabbit sniffed the cheese, but he didn't think it had any smell at all. Now for something a little bit stronger, said Grampy Rabbit, taking the cover off a second piece of cheese. He took a big sniff. That's more like it, he said. A stinky one. Pedro sniffed the cheese. He cried. It smells like my daddy's socks. And now, said Grampy Rabbit, it's time for the strongest cheese in the whole world. Grampy Rabbit carefully lifted the cover off the third cheese and took a huge sniff. Now that's what I call cheese, he said. Next it was Mandy's turn to smell the super strong cheese. It's the nicest smell I've ever smelled, she said. You love smelling cheese, don't you, Mandy? Said Mummy Mouse. Yes, cried Mandy, but I love eating it even more. Funny you should say that, said Mummy Mouse. Mummy Mouse brought out a cake covered in candles. Wow! It's birthday cake time, she said. Cheesecake, gasped Mandy. My favourite. Hooray! Everyone cheered. This is the best birthday ever, cried Mandy. Hooray! And this is the best birthday party ever, said Peppa. Happy birthday, Mandy. The end. Peppa's Pizza Party. It is lunchtime at Peppa's house. Can we make pizzas? Peppa asks. George loves pizza. So do Mummy and Daddy Pig.
Peppa is excited to start, but first, everyone must wash their hands. They use soap and water to get all clean. When they are done washing, they gather ingredients. To make our pizzas, says Daddy Pig, we need flour, tomato, chimes in Mummy Pig, cheese, continues Daddy Pig, and toppings. But wait, there's something missing.
George likes pineapple on his pizza,
Peppa says. Pineapple? Daddy Pig repeats. On pizza? I think that's against the law. Peppa laughs. Daddy Pig is being silly. It is not against the law to put pineapple on pizza. Mummy Pig sprinkles a little flour on the table so that the dough doesn't stick. Then, with their clean hands, Peppa and George knead the dough. Bam, bam, bam!
I am big and strong,
Peppa says.
and George is big and strong too.
Next, they make the dough into 4 balls. These will become 4 pizza pies. Mummy Pig rolls the dough balls flat with her rolling pin.
Oh,
Says Peppa.
they look like pizzas now.
Mummy and Daddy Pig make a sauce with the tomatoes. Then Peppa and George smooth it over the dough.
I like making pizza.
Peppa says.
It's so fun.
Now it is time to decorate the pizzas.
Can we make happy faces on top?
Peppa asked. Of course we can, replies Daddy Pig. I'll use mushrooms to make eyes and olives for the smile. And I'll use onions for the eyes and basil for the smile, says Mummy Pig. Peppa uses sweet corn for the smile and little tomatoes for the eyes. George has pineapple for the eyes and cheese for the smile. Mummy Pig puts on her oven mitts. Then she places the pizzas in the oven to bake. When the pizzas are done, Peppa, George, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig eat in the garden. Their pizzas are very good.
These are the best pizzas in the world,
says Peppa. Peppa loves pizza. Everyone loves pizza. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's Pumpkin Party. It is a lovely autumn day, and Peppa and George are getting ready for their Halloween party. First, they scoop out a pumpkin to make a lantern. Then Mummy Pig fixes a candle inside and lights it.
Ooh, lovely,
sighs Peppa. Mummy and Daddy Pig help Peppa and George put on their costumes. Peppa is a witch and George is a dinosaur. Peppa cackles. Very witchy, says Mummy Pig.
Dinosaur! Arr!
Growls George. Peppa and George's friends have arrived. Everyone is wearing a spooky Halloween costume. Suddenly, they hear a howl.
Oh! What was that?
Asked Peppa.
Only me,
Laughs Danny Dog.
I'm a werewolf.
Peppa notices that Emily Elephant has a green face.
What are you, Emily?
She asks.
I'm an alien. Blub, blub, blub.
She replies, laughing.
And Edmund is a ghost. Actually, I'm a paranormal apparition,
Corrects Edmund.
That's a clever clog's ghost.
Daddy Pig appears at the door. Welcome to the party, everyone.
he booms. Come and have some pumpkin pie. Inside, the house is decorated with balloons, cobwebs, and hanging toy bats. Even Madame Gazelle has come to the Halloween party. Hello, says Susie Sheep.
I've come as a vampire.
A vampire, sighs Madame Gazelle. That reminds me of home. How strange. Madame Gazelle doesn't seem to have a reflection in the mirror. Daddy Pig puts on some music for everyone to dance to. I love pumpkin parties, Peppa shouts.
I love dressing up,
says Susie Sheep. And everyone loves pumpkin pie, says Daddy Pig. The end. Peppa Pig, Daddy Pig's office. Today, as a special treat, Peppa and George are visiting Daddy Pig's office. Daddy, what do you do at your office all day? Asks Peppa. Lots of fun things, replies Daddy Pig. We're here, he tells the children as they arrive at a very tall building. Hello, says Daddy Pig into the intercom.
Hello, Daddy Pig,
says a voice.
Can I press the button?
Peppa asks. Of course, Peppa, Daddy replies. My office is at the top. We have to go up in the lift, Daddy Pig tells the children.
Can I press the button?
asks Peppa excitedly. I think it's George's turn. Press the top button, please, George, says Daddy Pig. The lift takes him to the top floor. Hello, everyone, grunts Daddy Pig. Hello, say Mr. Rabbit and Mrs. Cat. They work with Daddy Pig. I have two very special visitors with me today, Peppa and George, says Daddy Pig. Let's begin a tour, suggests Daddy Pig. Mr. Rabbit, can we start at your desk? We certainly can, replies Mr. Rabbit. My job is all about numbers. I take important pieces of paper and stamp them with a rubber stamp, Mr. Rabbit tells him. Wow, gasp the children. Peppa likes stamping paper. On with the tour. Next is Mrs. Cat's desk, exclaims Daddy Pig. Hello, Peppa and George, says Mrs. Cat.
Meow.
My job is all about drawing shapes on a computer.
Can I try?
asks Peppa. I think it's George's turn, says Daddy Pig. Yes, it's your turn to work, George, says Peppa. Agrees George. Mrs. Cat helps George to make lots of blue triangles. Now we print the triangles out, Peppa cries. The printer spits out sheets of paper everywhere. George and Peppa think it's hilarious. Do you want to see my desk? Daddy Pig asks. Yes, please, says Peppa. Daddy Pig's job is very important. Do you use stamps or a computer? asks Peppa. No, replies Daddy Pig. I use coloured pens. Peppa and George love colouring pens. George is drawing a dinosaur. George always draws dinosaurs, says Peppa, bored.
Dinosaur!
Says George. Ding ding! The office clock has just chimed. My goodness, 5 o'clock already, says Daddy Pig. It is time for Peppa, George and Daddy to go home. You've been doing my job very well, snorts Daddy Pig.
I like doing Mr. Rabbit's job and I like doing Mrs. Cat's job, but I like doing your job the best, Daddy,
says Peppa. Peppa and George have had an excellent day at Daddy Pig's office. The end. Peppa Pig New Shoes. Peppa and George have been playing in the garden. Now it is time to come inside. Peppa, says Daddy Pig, where are your shoes?
Oh no, gasped Peppa. I've lost them.
Peppa runs back out to the garden. She can't find her shoes anywhere.
They really are lost,
she cries. Don't worry, Peppa, snorts Daddy Pig. Your shoes were getting a bit old. We'll buy you a new pair, says Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig and Peppa go to Miss Rabbit's shoe shop.
Mummy,
asks Peppa,
can my new shoes be red?
Of course they can, replies Mummy Pig. Hello, says Mummy Pig. We would like to buy some new shoes for Peppa.
Red ones, shouts Peppa, please.
Miss Rabbit nods, then lifts down a box from the shelf. Miss Rabbit opens the box. Here we are, she says. Red ones. Peppa tries the shoes on. They feel just right.
New red shoes, she giggles.
As soon as Peppa gets home, she rushes into the living room.
Daddy, Daddy, she shouts, look at my new shoes, they are red.
I say, says Daddy Pig, they are very smart.
Do you like my new shoes?
Peppa asks George. George likes Peppa's new shoes. Everyone likes Peppa's new shoes. Peppa likes to wear her shoes so much she doesn't want to take them off, ever. She even wants to wear them in the bath. Peppa giggles as she plays in the bubbles. Peppa and George get into their pyjamas. They start to brush their teeth. Are you sure you don't want to take your shoes off now? Says Mummy Pig.
No, thank you, says Peppa. I'm even going to wear them in bed.
In the morning, Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig and George put on their boots. They want to jump in muddy puddles. Peppa frowns.
Oh.
She is still wearing her new red shoes. Peppa runs inside and comes back out wearing her boots. Now she can have fun without getting mud on her new red shoes.
If you want to jump in muddy puddles, she says, you must wear your boots.
The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.